Hi, welcome back to Diamonds Around the World. My name is Will. First and foremost, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning back, welcome back. What we are working on today is day 43, my bad, of the Diamond Painting Mosaic vlog on a blank canvas. And we're going to be working with DMC 801. So, do I have something to tell you? Oh my god. So this is not diamond painting related, but God, trust me, I was about to freak out. So, first and foremost, I'm going to work on this. Oh, let me use the tweezers. This spot right here. So let's talk about yesterday of all days. Let's see, I went to my job like normal. Kind of boring. Nothing new. It's been slow. But that's whatever. Then I left work, got home. My mom had a doctor's appointment. Took her there. Sat in the car for about 10 minutes, 15 max, while she was inside. Because it's just the podiatrist, the foot doctor. No biggie. Then we came home. And she's reorganizing her craft room to her standards, her likings, whatever. I don't care. I own the house. She just lives with me just to make it easy on her. So I gave her the spare bedroom as her craft room, and she's content with it. So she's in there doing that, and then I was doing stuff, helping her with it. Then out of all blue, we decided to start making dinner. I was washing clothes and putting it in the dryer. Everything was going fine. And then we lost power. And it was the entire house. So I called my coworker because she lives down the street from me, and I asked her if she had power, and she said yes. And then I called my neighbor that I know very well and asked her if they had power. She did. And this is where it gets fun. Then I'm like, okay, something's up. So I try to call the company that we get our power from here in Pennsylvania. And it's after 5 o'clock. So, no one's in the office. So I get all these recordings. Does your address start with this? Are you paying on a bill? In a few selective words, tell us why you're calling. This and this and this and this. And it was driving me nuts. So at one point then my mom's like, I'm hungry, we need to go get food since I can't make dinner that I was going to make. Because she was in the process of making dinner for us today. Well, yesterday. We rotate on who makes dinner. Just because that's how we are. Well, so she stuck what she was going to make, wrapped it up, put it in the fridge quickly, closed the door. We left and went to my sister's house just to visit and say hi and got out of the house because it was getting cold. So then after we left my sister's house, we decided to go, of all places, McDonald's. And I think I'm not going to eat there again because let's just say we got back and guaranteed I still had no power at my house, but I was in my bathroom. That's all I'm saying. So we got back. I took care of the personal stuff I had to take care of. Then I walked over to my neighbor's house because him and his wife lived in the house next to us for years upon years. And I've only lived in my house since 2021 when I bought it. And they gave me some suggestions, some tips of what to do. I did it all. It didn't work. Then I called the electric company again, and I finally got through to customer service. After specifying customer service like 4 times, they finally got me to someone. They proceed to tell me that it's not on their end, it is on my end, and I need to call an electrician. This is 8:30 at night, about 4 hours without power at my house, and I live in central Pennsylvania, and we are getting a snowstorm. I don't think it's a big one, but we're getting snowstorms. We got a little one yesterday. We're supposed to get one on Thursday, and then another one on Saturday. So yeah, it was a interesting couple hours between my house, my sister's house, eating dinner at McDonald's. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I hung up on the electric company because they ticked me off. Let me tell you that one. I hate it when they tell me it's not their fault, it's mine. And I'm like, well, I pay you guys for your electric. You should at least send someone out to investigate. Nope, they wouldn't. Not at all. So then I text my coworker. I text my coworker, the one I had called earlier in the day, and said, do you know anybody that is an electrician? And she is, no, I don't, but my dad does. Call him. So I sent her dad a text and asked, and he calls me. And before I go any further, I checked my breaker box. I flipped everything. I flipped it off. I flipped everything on. I did the whole 9 damn yards. Excuse the language. I have something hanging in front of it. I took it down, and I opened it up, and I went through every breaker, made sure they were all on. And they were. Before we did anything else. Multiple times. Let me put it that way. So if you watch this and you say, well, why didn't you check your breaker box? Trust me, I did. That's one of the few things I do know how to do when it comes to power outages if something flips. But they were all fine. So then we get back to my coworker's dad. He calls me, and we're talking on the phone. And then he goes, well, did you check out at your meter where it registers how much electricity you're using, and where your power company reads and figures how much, all of that? I'm like, well, yeah, I checked it. It's still working. I had still numbers go in and all this stuff. Then he goes, is there a little box below the meter? I'm like, yeah. The one thing I didn't check. There was another breaker that I didn't know about. So he had me open it up. I'm like, hey, I found another breaker. He goes, yeah, I figured so. And I'm like, and it's popped. So now we're talking, this is after 9 o'clock at night. My phone battery is literally sitting at like 17%. I'm trying to do stuff and get this all figured out. So we have at least heat in my house. So I flipped it off and I flipped it on. And then he goes, I need you to do that one more time. I'm like, why? And he explains it to me, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Just because that breaker was popped, if there was any other live circuits after I flipped it off and flipped it on, doing it a second time will actually clear a lot of it, as what he says. I don't know if it was like a live circuit. He called it something else. So I flipped it off and flipped it back on. And that was, I want to say, around 9:30 p.m. on the 11th. That was the last night. And I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I got power, thank you. I'm like, at least I know where this is, so if it ever happens again, I know how to fix it. If it's none of the other breakers. And at least we know what not to do for it to happen. Monkey's uncle. So, yeah, that was my productive evening on the 11th. I didn't get to diamond paint at all. Nope, that's all. I started a new section of my whip, and I think I laid probably 10 drills down on it, and then everything went downhill. It would have been, I'm like, it would have been nice to know about that breaker, because, you know, refrigerator, freezers, you name it, everything was down for at least 4.5 hours, and that ain't bad. I know I'm good with stuff. Now if it was like 24 plus hours, I'm like, oh my god, I have to get rid of product. Everything in the freezers, I'd be calling my sisters, of all people. But it's literally like, that was a day, not a day. The day was boring. Oh my god, don't even get me started with that one. I think the most energetic part of that day was when we had a lady cuss another lady guest cuss another guest out and threaten him with a hammer. Interesting. In 13 years of working at that job, that was a first for me. But yeah. And then my night was fun. And I even started my day out being nice to my coworkers and bought Dunkin' Donuts for everybody. And that's probably where everything decided to go downhill, because I decided to be nice to my coworkers. But that was my little rant for yesterday. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but yeah, I had to. It could have been better, but you know what? It wasn't. Let's just hope that, you know, nothing else happens. Okay, so I'm going to say, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscription button. It is free to join my channel. I post daily vlogs every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually did not think I was going to be able to get to this vlog. Let me put it that way. But thank you. I did. First looks go up every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Because once again, I live in Pennsylvania. And then anything else like toast reviews, kit ups and kit downs when I get used to doing them, and any kind of hauls will be random throughout the week. Now I do want to throw maybe a pop-up first look somewhere in the middle of the week between now and next week from a kit that I got off of D-Stash. Debatable. I still might change my mind, but right now that's kind of floating in my head, so you might get an extra first look. But that is everything for me. Leave me a comment down below. Hit that notification bell to get notified for when I post a video. And I will see you tomorrow. This is Diamonds Around the World. Bye.